Welcome back, guys. Time for another video, and this one we're putting a harness and window net in this little beast. Stick around and I'll show you exactly how we're going to do that. Alright, inside here, this beautiful little blue box, we have our harness from Sparco. I was able to pick this up. One of the family members of mine actually picked it up on a cracking deal. Found it online, so thank you to them. But inside we have our harness all set to go now. Got our latch or buckle, shoulder straps, lap straps, 6-point harness, endurance mode, got the tags, so it should be looking very nice once we get it in the car, and we also got some eye bolts and stuff with it too. So we just have to pair this with a few other different things, and then it'll be set to go in the car. So we'll start installing this thing right now. Okay, obviously our harness, our bag of eye bolts right there. I did have to go and get some extended eye bolts to go through our floor pan, because if you've seen previous videos you'd know that we had to alter our floor pan, and they've pretty much just plated it straight across another one, which the normal eye bolts in here would not actually fit through both layers of the floor pan. So I had to go get longer ones to make that work, which is fine. And I also have some plates here to plate up under the floor pan to obviously keep the bolts in. And then I do have to put some washers or counterplates on top to stop it ripping through the floor pan. My goal is to use one of the lap straps and bolt it into a stock mounting hole, which you're allowed to do, and then on the other one I'll just drill a new hole and put an eye bolt on it, and we'll go from there. So 2-inch harness all the way around. These are your shoulder straps. You may ask why I've gone for 2-inch. To be perfectly honest, I chose this one. This is the one I wanted because it is it was a good price, to be perfectly honest, and it works well with our Hans device right here. It sits across on our Hans, which will be like so, looking something like that. So essentially that's the reason why you can go a 3-inch up here, which is perfectly fine. You can go a 3-inch section down here. You can go a full 3-inch. You can go a 2-inch and a 3-inch. You can go full 2-inch. We went full 2-inch. Just what I chose to do. For all my students and non-motorsports friends that watch these videos, this is a Hans device, a head and neck safety device. Pretty much one of the most vital parts of your safety equipment that you'll find. Now, I was down in Brisbane or the Gold Coast earlier this year and stopped by Racewear Industries, and they set me up with one of these Hans devices. It's not the most fancy one up there, but it'll do the job perfectly. And that then just tethers onto your helmet like so, and I'll show you later on how that works. But essentially, harness sits over your shoulders like that, and in a frontal impact this will hold your helmet, connect to your helmet like that, and stop your head and stop you snapping your neck, which will be not very pleasant. So what we first need to do is we're going to get our lap straps in, and then we'll go from there. So we'll mount the first eye bolt and get this harness, the first part of the harness, in the car. Okay, so I don't know if you can see just down there, got our eye bolt with a, I guess it's a washer, but a bit of a counterplate, tucked into one of the seatbelt holes. The other seatbelt hole is right there, but the angle from the seat to there wouldn't be right, so I use the other one. The angle should be right. I'll double check it, but what we have to do now is get our lap strap and stick it in the car. So we'll just go through that hole, down here, where we get it. Hook on, and there we go. Okay, boys and girls, here is the conundrum that I have. I don't know if you can see around there. I've removed the seat and I've just traced around where the crutch belt hole is, which is perfectly fine in that location. The problem is to get a eye bolt through here at close to that hole would be, I'd be drilling straight through the frame rail of the car, which I don't want to do. And the only other option is to move it over. That's the edge of the frame rail right there. That little black mark right there, I don't know if you can see it. So I can move it over. There's a patch I could put it on right there, which would probably work, which is what I'm gonna have to do. It just means the angle that the straps come up would be like that, and then through this hole. So it's the best solution I can come up with at the moment for this application. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out, but that's the best I can do given the situation, because I do not want to drill straight through the frame rail, which is about right there. So we'll take some more measurements and we'll start getting some drilling. I think you can, in our regulations, you can mount it straight down or 20 degrees back. I think I'm going to, where I sit in the car, my crutch sits, it's about there. So I might just go fractionally back from straight down. So yeah, it'll work how I sit in the car. So, and anyone else driving this car, I mean, at the end of the day, they may be 20 mil in front, or 20 degrees in front, sorry, which is still within the regulations. And I've got to find someone that would actually fit and reach the pedals, because most normal people that get in can't even reach the pedals. So I think we'll aim for somewhere along this direction and then mount the eye bolts over that way. Okay, so I got the first hole drilled, and how we're going to do this is I've still got to paint it just to make sure it doesn't rust. Went to Bunnings, 50 by 50 mil, 3 mil, essentially they're a plate or a washer, but perfect fit right through there. That'll sit on top of that, straight through, and away we go. And then we hook it up and we'll be set to jet. Then underneath you got your counter plate, and it'll all bolt up nice and neatly. So what we're going to do now is I'll just bolt up the first one and then double check that the seat will fit back in there, which it should. I'm positive it will. And then give it a quick paint. I'll drill the other hole, give it a quick paint, and then we'll start bolting these up, and then I've got to worry about the other lap strap. I've figured out where we're mounting our second lap strap. It's going to go through up there. It'll still have room for the exhaust to run through, which is lovely. Got our two holes here for our crutch strap, and then obviously we've got our other lap strap down there, and then we'll have our shoulder straps going back. So now it's just putting the bolts in for the straps here, and away we go. So I'll get onto that right now. Okay, so next up we have our shoulder straps. Now this one goes on the driver's right hand side, and it's just going to go straight back to that bar right there. Now it's definitely long enough to reach that bar back there. The issue we may have is getting the buckle or the adjuster to sit on the yoke of the harness device. So this part, essentially that part right there. What we will be doing, we'll get it in place about where we think it should be, and then we'll come back and we will be mounting it up back here. It's easy to adjust if we need to adjust it, if you have a look here, in line with that bolt is pretty much the center of the seat. This bolt right here. So with the size of the yoke across the back, that part from there to there, across the back there, is about 180 mil. And the distance from the back of the seat to the mounting point on the harness back here is about 600 mil. Now, I'll put up a little bit of a picture. Essentially, the two harnesses, when they come back from that seat and come all the way back to this pole, instead of coming straight back, they'll actually cross over, and they need a 30 mil gap between them. So this bolt will actually sit between both straps. So the straps will sit either side, and they'll cross over and go back up through the slots and up to the shoulder gaps, and then down onto our harness. So now it's just a matter of getting it all set up, and once we get that done to approximately where we need it, we can test fit it, which it should be fine. Like I said, minor adjustments can be made, and then we can get on to putting the window net in. Alrighty, so we got these the excess of our straps wrapped up, mounted up either side of our bar there. You can see the straps are crossed over. That is essentially almost distance between there is 30 mil, which is beautiful. Come around here. So you've got our straps. It's wonderful. And I did strap myself in just before, just to double check, and it is perfect. So again, it's perfect, but perfect in that just maybe a smidgen adjustment here or there, and we'll be good to go. But sitting in there, it's really good. I had the Hans device on. I'll show you at the end when I put the window net in what it's like. But once we get in there, strapped in, Hans in, you are not going anywhere. In fact, it's so tight, I might have to do some practice breathing with a bit of a compression, something I'm compressing at my chest, because it pulls so tight down. It makes it hard to breathe sometimes. So we'll move on to the window net now and get that installed, and then that'll be nearly all of our safety stuff in terms for the car sorted out. Alright, so our window net situation is, I got one of these square window nets, thinking it would be the perfect solution for the car. Unfortunately, the regulations state the window net has to come past or in line with the center of the steering wheel and enclose pretty much the gap from about there forward. So this square window net was a great choice. It's a great bit of product. I went in, got it, and thought, you know what, it's perfect, and then got it home, test fit, and like, wrong choice. Now, I could take it back. I'm actually going to hold on to it. If I ever want to do some passenger ride days, I'll fit this up, throw it in there, and use it for passenger ride days. So the other window net I got is one that I probably should have gone for in the first place, but I didn't. It's a bigger option. It's actually made for these cars, for the XLs, for this series of car. It's got the straps that hook onto the roll cage, but it is with this cage that I've got. You've got the support bar, the A-pillar bar here. That window net that I just showed you fits absolutely perfect in there with the angle of this bar going down to the door bar down there. And then all I needed to get was just a fitting kit. Now some fitting kits will come with 2 bars. This one from Revolution Race Gear just comes with 1 bar, which is all I need because I've got these straps that connect up down to the roll cage. And then you've got a few tabs that you just have to bend up and screw in. So we'll get this all measured up now, get it in. It should be a fairly easy fix. This window net comes from Raceline, Motorsport Racewear down in Melbourne. It's It's actually a really good piece of equipment. 50 bucks and away you go. So we'll get this mounted up and ready to get it out on track. Once we get this window net installed, it should actually be one of the few remaining things we have to do interior wise before we take this car out on track. So then it's just onto the engine. So we'll get this mounted up now and see how we go. The only issue we may have is the tabs for the fitting kit here. These tabs just down there. I'll have to figure out a way to bend them up to a 90-degree angle so I can screw them or bolt them in. Guys, new day. Ran out of time yesterday just trying to figure out how we're going to mount the actual window net to the car, and I think I've come up with a bit of a solution. I sat there for about 45 minutes yesterday just trying to figure out exactly the right position, and I was just getting frustrated. And I literally said, I'm not going to try and force it. I'm just going to go away, have a bit of a think about it, and then come back tomorrow and try and figure it out then. In the meantime, I've come up with a bit of a way so I can accurately see how far I need to put our little brackets in. Now, I had to bend those brackets up. Called up my dad and I said, you got a vise? He goes, yep, you can have it. So I went over and picked it up, mounted it on my workbench and bent up the brackets. And we might just have to make a few little modifications to them. But essentially those brackets for the window nets have to be, with this mounting kit, have to be mounted 675 mil apart from the inside of the brackets. So I went and picked up a piece of dowel, 675 mil long, cut it to fit, and then I just can tape those brackets to it, and so you can get an accurate representation of where those brackets are actually going to sit inside the car. So we'll do that now, and we'll see how we can mount these brackets up for this window net. Another shirt change later and a lot of mucking around, which should be an easy job, but the way I did it is a little bit difficult. We've got the mounting brackets up. So if you look in here, start with the car, you got our bar up there and mount it up there. So we just pull it out. I probably will have to put another bolt in there somewhere. That's okay, we'll sort that out. And then this one down here, they're super solid. They're not going anywhere. Even this one up here, it's not going anywhere. So spring to the back, push it in. There we go. Now we just got to mount the net to it, and then give the car a bit of a vacuum. Okay. Now it's time. With this. Mount it up, and you see the angle. All that down there is absolutely perfect. So I think I might start with this one here. You see the council outline lawns. If you're not from Townsville and you don't experience the wet season, word on the street is that we're going to be getting a lovely big wet season after Christmas, which will be nice. So I think they're just out getting everything ready. Now these straps, you mount essentially the same as your harness through that way, and then back down through. Twist that off, and then I'll stick that So, tighten it up. Perfect. Time to see how we go getting in this car with the window net and seat belts. Should be an interesting time. I ain't going anywhere. That is tight. And pretty comfy too. Well, I am very, very happy with that. It is a very tight fit, quite comfy, and I have my harness, window net, feeling very safe. I've got room for my helmet above, which I have inside. It already has a harness post on it. But I'll tell you what, this is, I might have to shorten this one up just a fraction, this shoulder strap. But when you look at what we got here, harness, window net, cage is absolutely stout, so there's no problems there. But window net comes past my hands, it wouldn't be going anywhere anyway because I've got the bar there. But if you're looking for a fantastic window net, Raceline Motorsport Racewear, right there. I'll link the window net and the website in the description of this video, and you can check them out. I've got actually a few things from Kaz and Wayne at Raceline in this car: the window net, steering wheel, the quick release here, the seat you'd be able to get from them. They're the OMP dealer here, or one of the OMP dealers here in Australia. So there we go. Very, very happy, very content. So I reckon I could sit here for a while and chill out, except it's stinking hot. There's some rain on the way, and I reckon I might just go inside for a cold drink, have a cold shower, and relax a little longer. Maybe. We'll see how we go. But until then, guys, the next video we have our exhaust going in underneath the car. So hopefully that makes a bit of a difference. Last time I showed you the exhaust, it sounded like a wet fart. It still does, nothing's changed. And then we'll get the new one on and see how much of a difference that makes. I'm sure it'll make a difference when we're out there on the track. So, alright guys, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't got any questions about the window net, about the harness, drop me a message or leave a comment. Go ahead and like, subscribe to the channel. As we go along, there'll be more and more things that we're going to be doing. I do have a video coming up planning on showing you how I actually afford to do this build, because it's probably an unusual way of doing things. I don't think many people will be doing it the way I actually do it. So until then, be safe, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you very, very soon. Cheers guys, see ya.
I'm in the big leagues, Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston.